Hey, good morning. We are live and welcome to the live people. Welcome to everybody who's watching as a video also. So we've had more technical issues and problems, and I don't even want to go into this, but I'm here and it's about 11:07, 11:08. So thanks guys for hanging in there and waiting for me. And so this is tarot time. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have we're gonna do a 3 card spread to give us a forecast for what's going on with us personally, what's going on in the world around us. Let's see, where's my water? Oh, here it is. What's going on, in our local community? I do a meditation card for the week. You have something that we can meditate on that's succinct with the energies that are happening this week. And then I have other divination cards and other divination tools. So for whatever reason, um, my camera, like the camera attachment for this, it won't do landscape mode. I had to like adjust it to like profile mode. So that's why my head is so freaking big today. It's a long story, but anyways, here we are. Another crazy week. So you guys watching this as a video? Oh God, I'm really losing it. Where did I put my glasses? Okay. All right. We had them a second ago. All right. This is definitely going to be interesting. So I'll do my best to read your comments without glasses, I guess. So hi, Children's School of Yoga. So at 5 o'clock today, we're going to have our. And I see there's also a delay also. So everything's really crazy and wonky this morning here in technology. So 5 o'clock, we have Doreen from Children's School of Yoga right here. She's going to do a yoga class for us where astrology and yoga meet. So very strong astrology coming up this month. And we're going to tap into that in this yoga class. So that's going to be at 5. At 7 tonight, we're going to do the August psychic forecast as well as the full moon forecast. So full moon is on August 1st. It's right on Lammas, on Lughnasadh, which is a Celtic holiday. Lots of strong aspects. It's at 9 degrees of its sign, 9 degrees of Aquarius, excuse me. So that's important. So there's a lot going on, and July's been a crazy month, and I've seen a lot of people like on YouTube or whatever talking about things have been quieter, but they really haven't. It's just been there's been a lot of behind the scenes stuff that's been happening, and as well, there's been like a lot of weather stuff. Like Phoenix has not high temperature. I think it's been over 110 or higher every day in July, which Phoenix is a hot place, but that's crazy. There've been all-time record highs set around the world in Europe and the United States. And in Manatee Bay, they recently recorded a water temperature of 101 degrees. And granted, it's a shallow bay in southern Florida, but that exceeds the old record by like 2 degrees, basically. So lots going on with the weather. And this was this is all part of the July forecast. So I'm mentioning that because to let you guys know that Spirit does give us information to help us to prepare. And more often than not, it's quite accurate. So let me say a few hellos. So hi, Michelle, Janae, Susan, Colleen, who else? Michael's in. Hi, and hi, Anana. Welcome. Marissa and Suzette. Welcome, everybody. And I know I'm hi, Yolanda, and another Susan. Hi, MT. I know I'm missing a lot of people. I don't know if oh my goodness. I don't know if you guys are seeing the delay also from my voice. It never ends with the technology. I swear, it never freaking ends. So, anyways, we're gonna do our best, and let me see what else. So So one thing that's happening, many people are really experiencing a vibrational shift right now, and this is going to really strengthen in August, where we just started to enter into what's known as the Lionsgate portal, or what's become that, when the star Sirius starts to become visible in the pre-dawn hours in the eastern sky before the sunrise. So when that starts to happen, then we come into this. It's like the sign Leo, and then as we get closer to the 8th of August, and Sirius and the I think it's the Pyramid of Giza and the Earth all form an alignment. So this big portal opens up, and that's again, the different portals are energies, are sort of doorways into higher spiritual knowledge and things of that nature. So that's coming up in August. Lots of stuff. I wrote a few notes because I got a few messages before I came in. And one of the messages that Spirit was saying is that many of you are having a vibrational shift now, and new psychic abilities or stronger psychic abilities are starting to surface. Maybe you guys can relate to that. Maybe that's you. Somebody said it looks like I'm in a dubbed movie. Yeah, I know. It's like the technology. I could go to my office and where there's an even stronger Wi-Fi, and I have these same things going on. And recently, in my kitchen light, it turns into a strobe light at night. It's the craziest thing. Not during the day, but at nighttime, I turn it on. It's like a freaking strobe light. So I don't know. The energy is getting really, really crazy around here, I must say. But keeping my sense of humor and continuing to connect with Spirit and to provide the information that they want us to know. So as I do the tarot stuff, they'll give us stuff that we need to know to navigate the coming week. Now, at 7 o'clock, we're going to do the August psychic forecast and the full moon forecast. I think I just said that, right? So what else is going on? I have a few notes here. It looks like I've almost caught up my image. Oh, that's the other thing. They're saying to use our voice now, to really cultivate our voice, whether that's chanting, whether that's singing, and that's going to help to open our throat chakra up, because a lot of us are experiencing heart chakra openings. And of course, we talk a lot about that around here with the practice heart brain coherence, and encouraging you guys to keep working on that. But what's in between, like the brain, which would be the third eye and the crown chakra, and the heart is the throat chakra. And a lot of us have disconnects at the throat because our voices have been silenced, systematically through society. Growing up, some of us may, like one of my father's favorite expressions. I was raised in the 1960s, is children should be seen and not heard. Stuff like that. So, kind of at a very early age, we've been guilted, we've been shamed into conforming to certain patterns of thought or certain mindset. And in society, that the powers that be, especially those of us that are aware, that have something to say, that have some insights to share, that may go against the status quo or may be more spiritual in nature. There's a lot of guilting and shaming, a lot of silencing of voices. And we're seeing a lot of censorship in the news. We're seeing a lot of censorship in a country that's supposedly founded on free speech. So it's going on in a lot of areas. So there's I often talk about there being a systematic attack on spirituality. I've noticed that since the late 1970s when I had my awakening, but that continues. And part of that is they're trying to silence the voices of those who are sharing the knowledge. So anyhow, work with the throat chakra, work with chanting, work with singing. Kirtans and yoga are great. There's all kinds of different Sanskrit chants that you can work with. I sing all the time, and working with the master teacher, I kind of joke about this. That's the group that I work with when I channel. they basically taught me how to sing. And now when I go to sing and play my drums, because I like to do that, because it helps get me in the flow of the universe and helps me with my channeling and mediumship. Like, in other words, in order to be able to play my drums, to be in rhythm and to sing at the same time, I can't think about that. I have to surrender to the flow. In this case, the flow of the music. And my voice is different. It's like I can sing. It's like I never could sing, and now I can sing. So the master teachers taught me how to do that. So, anyways, let's go into a little tarot stuff. I said I'm a little compromised because I don't have my glasses with me, even though I brought them here. And it's almost like, do they have two legs and do they walk away? I don't know. But then, anyways, hi MDR, hi Weird Science, hi Mikkel. Hi, Colleen. Love to sing, so very good. Yeah. Yogi Bhajan, who not everybody, it's too warm on Yogi Bhajan because he had a dubious reputation, but I do believe he was a clear channel for Ram Dass, who's an ascended master, Sikh. But basically, one of his quotes is that the most healing sound in the universe is the sound of your own voice singing or chanting. And I always loved to sing. I just never had a singing voice. I mean, we can all sing as long as we have vocal cords that work, and it's just a matter of getting into the rhythm, getting into the flow. And when you do that, you sing in key, which is really amazing. It's like not even having to try to do it; it just kind of happens on its own. So, hi, Roseanne. What is she saying? Here we go. Like, everything on my computer is being weird today. I've seen a lot of AI in forms of Christ, and oh, that's interesting. Cool. And spirits getting stronger. We are evolving. There's forces that are working against it. It kind of taps into the collective ego, as it were. Part of our ego is about survival and doesn't like change. Part of our ego exists in the subconscious. So that's why, learning how to be present and starting to dissolve those filters between conscious and subconscious mind is so critical and crucial in spiritual awakening and personal growth. Because the ego hides a lot from us in our subconscious, and then we carry through with these patterns of behavior that bring the predictable results that we've always had in the past and make us our future reality. But when we start to dissolve those filters, then we start to see what's going on, and we start to recognize our own shadows, and they cease to be shadows because you shine the light of awareness on the shadow. Like when you shine a flashlight on your shadow, that shadow starts to disappear, right? So anyhow, I love when you just say, thank you about that. Well, today I'm not going to look cute because I don't have my glasses. Sorry about that. Even though I bought them in here, even though I placed them right here, I don't know. I mean, I didn't sleep last night. Maybe it's just me. Some nights I'm sleeping, some nights I don't. It's just the energy. I don't have like insomnia, or don't have like anxiety or dread when I'm trying to sleep, or racing thoughts, or none of that. My energy is just cooking, and I'm feeling vibrations and buzzing through my body when I'm supposed to be sleeping. That'll teach me to practice Kundalini yoga, right? Yeah, how dare I raise my Kundalini? You will not sleep. All right. So anyway, I'm going to do a meditation card, and the way that I recommend meditating with tarot, and like any other meditation, is get relaxed. Stop thinking. So when we're thinking, we're not connecting. When we're connecting, we're not thinking. So we don't want to be in our thinking mind. We want to be in our receptive, our higher mind. So that happens when you get present and just be aware of your breath. So you get to that state, and then whatever card that we have for this week is really, chosen by spirit in order to give us the best possible results and the best possible information and insights into what's coming up in the week and what we're working on our own spiritual path and our own path of life, which is the same thing, really. So once you're relaxed, you kind of get a mental image of the card, or if you have your own tarot card, you can use yours and step into the card. The first thing when you step in your mind is, what do you feel? So gauge how you feel emotionally and physically, and then what you see that's beyond the image of that two-dimensional snapshot that is the picture on the card. Hopefully that makes sense. So anyhow, guys are gonna make me blush today. Okay. Let me just stop my thinking. My face is gonna turn as red as my shirt today. All right, clearing my mind. For those of you that are jumping on, we have some camera issues, so that's and we obviously we have some upload issues on my internet today. That's why the pictures are all weird. So this is a card they want me to pull, and this is a nice card. I have to remember I have my camera situated differently because it refuses to link into landscape mode, so I had to prop it up into profile mode. Oh, boy. Another day in the life. So this Knight of Cups is interesting because that's about movement, and Cups is emotional. So that's an interesting card. So again, get very relaxed, step into the card, and what do you feel? And maybe you can sort of jump on. You can't really see this, but in other tarot decks, the knights are on the horses and they're moving. So you kind of jump on the jump on the horse and see where you go, see where the spirit guide or this ascended being takes you. I feel like a lot of you are going to start to connect with your extraterrestrial guides also as you're doing this work. So I could see one or more of you stepping on an extraterrestrial craft and traveling through the cosmos that way. And that's basically it. So go in your meditation, see what messages you get, whatever you feel, whatever images you get, whatever sound you get. Maybe the spirits will talk to you. Sometimes we get clairaudient messages that we actually hear in the messages. Other times it's more clairvoyant that we're seeing images, getting symbols, getting memories and stuff like that. So allow that to happen. Thank you. I just wanted to acknowledge that Christina Day from her Spiritually Selfish YouTube channel is in. So thank you for stopping in today. And that's good. So let's do a 3-card spread now. And again, 5 o'clock yoga, where yoga and astrology meet with our very talented astrologer and yogini. That'd be Doreen of Children's School of Yoga. So we're gonna. I can't wait to see what she has in store for us. But I know she's taking the astrological aspects and creating a yoga set out of that for us, which is a beautiful way to link in with the stars. The movement of the planets is basically giving us something to recognize how energy is moving through the cosmos and how it's affecting life here on Earth. So what an amazing way to connect with the energy flows and to maximize your yoga practice. So we're gonna do a 3-card spread. I have to remember my camera's situated differently, so I'm looking into the camera now. Hi. I know I'm like a big head today, just because again the technical stuff. I don't know if you guys have heard of that band called Big Head Todd and the Monsters. I'm like Big Head Todd today. All right, so I need to clear my mind. There you go. There's a beautiful testimony of you, Christina. So let me just clear my mind again. think I'm good. There we go. So I'm seeing like a fire hose as I'm doing this. So I think part of our group is going to be putting out some fires, metaphorically speaking, this coming week. I think it just feels like the energy is very, very, very charged. I'll see what the cards have to say, but it just feels like the energy is just really, really crazy. So here's what we pulled. We have the Six of Swords reverse, the King of Swords, and then the Lover's card. And both of those two are obviously upright. So the interesting thing is swords is air, of the mind, of thoughts, of thinking. Now the Lover's card, although that can be about love and all that beautiful stuff, it's also ruled by Gemini or guided by the sign Gemini. And Gemini is an air sign also. So there's a lot of air energy, a lot of news, I think, a lot of things that we're going to hear. The economy, all that kind of stuff, money. I'm seeing gold coins. So maybe, I don't know, is Michael, are gold prices down or something? I feel like they're talking about it, especially early in the week, maybe a good time to invest in some of the precious metals. I'm not keeping track of the the price of the called the spot prices lately, but that may be something. But also a lot with the news. I don't know if I mean, I know that the president and his family's in a lot of hot water. I know a lot's getting exposed. There's a lot of this kind of misinformation stuff. I mean, there's a lot of current events. So, swords communicate. This is also telling us, to be true to our word. That our word is our wand, right? That's from the Four Agreements. But our word is really like the only thing that we really have. Everything material we could lose tomorrow, but our word is golden. So I think the idea is really to work on being very, very honest and speaking up in situations, with discernment. Sometimes you have to hold back, for the highest good, but with discernment, speak up, speak your truth. That's really, I think, one of the universal messages. And what are you guys saying here? I just want to post a couple of your comments also. Bill in place it over the last 6 months. Yeah, last 6 months have been pretty intense, right? And the wings of the helmet, I feel it's a message from spirit. Crows are messengers in many philosophies. Absolutely, I get a lot of crows, and also I think they're ravens. Either that or there's huge crows that they hang out here. And crows can represent law. It can be very succinct with the energy to Ma'at, the Egyptian god, who I believe is a bird god, who's basically an avian. Like I do feel that a lot of these deities are really extraterrestrial beings that were helping us. So you have like the cat people, the lion people from, I think, Vega. For those of you that know more about star seeds and star groups can correct me, but I believe the feline races are of the Lyran system of Vega. And so we have Sekhmet, the lion goddess. We have Bastet, the cat goddess. We have Ma'at, who's the avian. So, air, birds, messages from spirit, trust that. I feel like they're saying do some writing, some journaling, automatic writing. I feel like starting this week, a lot of you are going to kick into some new spiritual abilities and new spiritual gifts. So be aware and open to that also. Again, our words are gold, our word are wand. So, we always want to keep our word, be true to our word, be honest and as the best as we can be. And of course, that requires some discernment. So, again, that's part of spiritual wisdom. It's kind of know when to hold them, know when to fold them kind of a thing. When to act, know when to pull back. And when you're, the more in your heart you are, the more in your power you are. When you really are in your heart, it helps activate all the chakras, because that's a central chakra, and that's where the truth resides. That's the truth of our soul, who we are as soul, who we are as spirit. So what else? What else? There could literally be some movements in terms of people's romantic lives. I feel like there's going to be more communication. Now, Venus is retrograde. That's one of the things that's affecting the entire month of August. Venus is in retrograde. At 7 o'clock, we're going to do the full August psychic forecast, as spirit rings to me, as well as the full moon forecast. I'm doing that all in one live stream, just because it's the first of the month. Normally I break them up into two separate live streams. So we're probably going to be on for about an hour at 7 talking about the full moon, because it's a really special, powerful full moon. I really want to do it justice. And also what's going on in August, because things are going to heat up. According to astrology, September is another big month, but August has its moments. July was a big month too. We have another day, even though it may have seemed a little bit quieter. A lot was going on behind the scenes, and a lot of shocking things, like finding cocaine in the White House. It's pretty shocking, especially when every square inch of the White House is under camera surveillance, for example. And I think, the sword is about truth. And I just think that we understand, those of us that are doing this work have an understanding what the truth is, but the masses don't yet. And I think it's like this emperor clothes game that the higher ups, the forces that be, continually play with us. That's and there's a lot of mass programming. I mean, it's almost like mass hypnosis, keeping everybody asleep, because you look at things and it defies logic. And I always cite January 6th. Some of you may be getting bored of that, but the fact that it was smeared all over social media that we're going to get together and storm the White House, demonstrate in front of the White House on January 6th, the most one of the most secure structures on the entire planet. Yet, what is it, like a couple of hundred people, not even, were able to break through lines of security, lines of police, and get inside the White House. I mean, logically, think, think. Something's not right with this picture. So you have to understand that things that happen, things that are allowed to happen, things that are suppressed, things that are censored, there's a plan behind it. There's a specific agenda behind it. Connect the dots and you'll understand that. How do you connect the dots? Follow the money, follow the corrupt flow of power. Then you tend to have the answers, basically. I'm not going to get too deep into that, but that so that's interesting. So the question would be, why wouldn't Trump allow that? Basically, I mean, I get that, but it's still, something that defies logic, at least in my way of thinking. It's all part of the Great Awakening. So we have, again, this whole system of divide. When we're divided, we're less powerful. When we're unified, then we're more connected to spirit, as source, as a collective consciousness. So you have like the right wing, you have the left wing, division, duality, and all this stuff. And meanwhile, they're all come from the same source. It's all part of the same, the same origins, basically. So that I mean that's a really interesting point, because and that's very, very interesting, to say the least. But you also have to understand that the president isn't always the final say so when it comes to national security. So again, I believe that's absolutely true, and that's a really good point. And thanks for pointing that out. But I still feel like there's more to the story than that. There's more to the picture to that. So the other thing is, why would the president do that? And we can, the ex-president now, we can come up with 1,000,001 reasons for that. But all right. So anyway, if you were following it, I'm just going back into your yeah, exactly. Like it was totally orchestrated. That's the point that I'm making, because everybody knew about it, so it's totally orchestrated, um, and it was allowed to happen. It was allowed to happen. That's the key, and we have to understand why that is. That's just one of many clues as to what the issues are, and what the agenda is, and everything. So what else is saying? I think on a personal level, like I was started to say before, more communication in relationships. I feel like some of you have had either somebody that you care about or care for kind of pull away, but for in a lot of cases there's going to be communication coming back in the next week or two. Is sort of the feeling that I get. And it's a with Venus being retrograde, it's a really good time to kind of shore things up that didn't go well, either in your relationship, or things that have been challenging, or in friendship, or in family issues, or whatever. Because when planets are retrograde, we can retrace. Anything with an RE prefix is going to fit in with the energies of retrograde. So in the case of Venus, it's about romance, it's about friendships and family. It's also about money and security and stuff like that. So, we get a chance to basically retrace some of our steps, and think that were swept under the rug, things that were not communicated, things that haven't gone well. We have a chance to revisit that, and make corrections and adjustments, so that we can move forward in more positive and in better energies. Um, and then, the Lover's card is also about choices. So it's also about duality. It's the sign Gemini. So I think more and more of us are really having to make choices, like which side of the fence are we going to be on? Are we going to be more apt to continue to move toward more sovereignty in our lives, some more spiritual freedom? Um, or is it going to be more like following the path that's laid before us? Artificial intelligence starting to take over things, transhumanism, centralizing of power, centralizing of government. An interesting thing is, and this has been, and I believe I got the correct months also, but it's been predicted not just by me, but by a lot of psychics, and intuitives, and astrologers, that there'd be a lot of disclosure of UFOs and aliens and extraterrestrials. And now what we have to look out for is, now that there have been some slow but steady government disclosures on these things. What's the purpose behind it? Is there another agenda? Is that War of the Worlds agenda a real thing? We'll find out in the next couple of years, if all of a sudden we're starting to hear about threats from outer space, and that we need to band together, and we need to let the governments band together and centralize everything, including money and including power, in order to overcome this mutual threat that the whole planet faces. Now, other things that I think we're going to start to hear more noise about World War III, and more energy around the division going on with the war in Ukraine. And the way that the media works is it's not always outright lies. I mean, some of the stuff that they report is absolutely true, and there is censorship or whatever, but it's what's in focus, what's in view. And what do they try to draw our attention to? And again, with all this sword, with all this energy, it's about communication. You be aware of that the war in Ukraine is not the only war in the world, and from what I understand, it may not even be the bloodiest and the worst war on the world. There's a lot of wars going on, but all our attention is focused there until there's something else that comes up, and then the media is going to focus our attention there. And it's well known that if you can control the thinkings of a society, you control that society. Media is the tool to do that. So again, be aware, be discerning, and not everything's a lie. That's where discernment comes in. So we can't just jump into like, this is wrong, this is a conspiracy, this, that, and the other thing. We have to be in our heart. When you're in your heart, you're not in fear. That's the key. When you're not in fear, then you can be clear-minded. That's why we talk about heart-brain coherence all the time, and why we practice it. A coherent heart leads to a coherent brain, because they're two parts of the same system. They're almost one organ. The heart's the power generator, the highest electromagnetic generator of the body. That's the heart center. And the brain is the transmitter receiver of that energy. So they're part of the same system. They're part of the same whole. Make the heart coherent, the brain becomes coherent. So what do? They try to make the heart incoherent. What's a coherent heart? A heart that feels love. Not that hard to figure out. Hearts want to love. Compassion, gratitude. These are all emotions that emanate from a coherent heart. Fear, division, anger, frustration. That brings the heart out of coherence and brings us into survival mode, where we it's a good thing if a tiger's chasing us, but not as our base emotion. It's a very bad thing, because it separates the brain and the heart, and it makes us basically lemmings for the powers that be to do whatever the heck they want to do to us, because we're too driven by fear and anger. So always do heart meditation, heart brain coherence, heart breath, heart expansion. Always do that, and then you become immune to the programming. Hearts cannot be subconsciously programmed. Only the brain can. So that's the key. That's the key. So what are you guys saying to me? Oops. So what we're saying, so Michael's saying to me, even just, yeah, that's kind of the point I was making, or can be. It has always been common sense that the human race is, yeah, exactly. It's common sense. Yeah, thank you. I think that sums it up pretty well. So let me move on. I have all kinds of other fun things to do here. Thank you for that, Susan, also for that. Good for you. I'm glad to hear that somebody actually is listening to me. I'm just teasing. All right, so I want to pull this card. So Corn Maiden, it's the 9 of something. I think this translates to the 9 of Wands. Anyway, this is a card that I pulled here, Corn Maiden. So 9's complete cycles. 9s are Mars ruled. So 9 has that energy of completion, being Mars ruled and everything. And it's a 9 of something. No, it's a 2. See, that's the thing without my glass. It's a 2. It's not a 9. All right, you know what? I'll just hold this up here for you guys. And 2, we got the a lot of 2. So a lot with duality, because 2's about duality. Duality are just two parts of the same whole. Polar opposites are really one and the same. My right is over here, my left is over here. But if I move about 6 feet, what was my left was once my right. So opposites exist because we have a point of reference. That's the only reason that opposites exist. Without that point of reference, everything is really blended and one and the same. And so I think it's actually the 2 of Cups, but it's the Corn Maiden. So that's basically what I'm getting for that. I just have to post this just because it's kind of funny, and also this one. Oh wow, that's really cool. Yeah, that's really cool. Let me see what else that I can glean from this card. I have to hold it a little bit away. So what's telling me? It's almost like this feeling of like all these ideas, that's above the head, and then creating something tangible with that. So I feel like it's saying this is a good time. We're in a full moon energy, so it makes sense. We're also in Llamas. That's midsummer, that's the first harvest. So it makes a lot of sense to do a lot of your law of attraction work. And that happens by understanding that you're already doing it. So you want to make it conscious. So in other words, we're doing law of attraction every day of our lives, and it's 95% subconscious. It's those habitual thoughts that we're not even aware of. Every time, what does psychologists say? We have 65,000 thoughts a day, 95% subconscious. And every time we have a thought, even if it's not conscious, it elicits an emotion, a feeling. Feeling is energy. And basically what that means is that every day, because most of our thoughts are about the past or sometimes about the future also, but it's taking our past reality, our past traumas, our past programming, making that our present reality and that thought and the emotion that it creates. And the mind, according to Joe Dispenza and others, is not just a record of the past, but a creator of the future. So whatever we're thinking about subconsciously, we're keeping that energy field very active, and we're magnetizing the same events, different faces, but the same events day in and day out. So this is the time to be aware of that and to break the cycles. You start to break the cycles when you engage the heart. And then when you start to engage the heart, you start to become more conscious of your mind also, and what you're putting out there. Plus, when your heart's incoherent and you're in gratitude and love, you're creating a field that brings more positivity into you, more to be grateful for, really. So I think that's part of the message, that now's the time to be more conscious of what's in your head. So practice presence in your meditation, practice presence, start to dissolve those filters between the conscious and unconscious. Breathe through the discomfort, because that's the inevitable result of that. When things in the subconscious start to rise to the surface, we feel anxieties, we feel things that are not the most pleasant, but we have to learn to breathe through that. We have to learn that discomfort's not a bad thing. I mean, we don't like it. I mean, I don't like to be uncomfortable. I mean, do you, right? Who likes that? But we have to be able to get past our own stories. We have to understand that just because I'm uncomfortable does not make the present moment less perfect. And I practice this. I practice deep presence as part of my meditation. And because I want to be grateful for the present moment. The present moment is absolutely perfect. It's God's creation right now. It cannot be more perfect than it is. It doesn't matter if I'm in pain. It doesn't matter if I'm having a crappy day. That's just a personal story that has nothing to do with the present moment. It's just a projection of what I'm feeling in that moment. But if I'm able to open my heart and connect with that perfection of the present moment, guess what? That pain diminishes. I mean, I was doing not this morning, 2 mornings ago, I was meditating, and I was experiencing a lot of pain. And I opened my heart, I breathed through it, and I was still aware of the pain, but it was no longer a negative thing to me. It was just something that's just something that's just part of the now, but it wasn't anything negative or anything that was going to detract me or anything that was going to stop me. So hopefully that makes sense. Anyway, let's move on. I have my Divine Abundance Oracle deck today, so I want to get a message from that. And I'm glad it's beautifully said. Like I said, I did not sleep, and Sunday's my Saturday. Like, I come on Sunday morning. I've been doing readings all week, working my butt off and wondering why my mind's a little bit off Sunday mornings. But you know what? Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that means I'm just free flowing from spirit more, because I'm not able to think as much. I don't know. Anyways. And this is the message we got. It says flow. I like that. And I love the dolphins also. A lot of you know that I do daily short videos here on the East Coast. They're released today, 8 a.m. And it's our psychic predictions. And I don't know why that popped up in my mind. That's what I'm saying. Maybe I'll just read the caption. Allow me, divine, to move with the flow and respond with calmness and peace. Okay, and when sometimes when I do divination cards, I tell you guys, maybe either replay the video or just observe this, and whatever you're drawn to in the image, you want to get your mind clear. You don't want to be thinking. So you want to be relaxed and kind of gaze into the image, and whatever you're drawn to, and however that speaks to you, or whatever images you see, or whatever images you see in there, that spirit giving you a personal message that may not be described in the description. But that's the idea. We can only learn about the flow when we're open with heart, and able to be coherent and be able to feel energy, and then you can feel the flow. So I always recommend go out into nature, feel the flows of nature. It becomes easier. You can feel the trees, you can feel the energy of the wind. And I was blessed to be able to do some training with Native American elders, and learned how to feel energy and find natural portals in the woods and stuff like that. And you go out into nature, there's areas that have high energy, there's areas that have low energy. And you can go and meditate in a spot, and wind up getting really drained because you not subconsciously, but unwittingly picked an area that's pulling on your energy rather than adding to it. So anyways, go with the flow. And I'm just seeing what you guys are saying. Yolanda saying, love that, especially with a deeper. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's a beautiful card, isn't it? I'll show it again. Oh, there's a delay again. Now envelop you in love. Go through the pain and jump above the clouds. Just flow. I was thinking of the song by Collective Soul this morning. Yeah, their big famous song "Shine," and the line "Love is in the water, love is in the earth," or something like that. And I just love the meaning behind that song. So I have Kyle Gray's Angels and Ancestors deck with me also. We'll get a message from these cards also for this week. Here we go. All right, so clearing my mind. Here we go. So the card that I got, I'm reaching for my glasses. No, I don't have my glasses, so we have to pull this away. It says High Priestess, harness mystic power. So we were talking about Bastet earlier, which is very interesting. So we have the cat energy. Yeah. So what do cats represent to you, and what does this image represent to you? And again, you may get your own personal message, but I think for some of you, you're starting to open up some past life energy, or some Akashic energy around being, in Egypt, or being part of that lineage in another lifetime. And the Egypt, like if you go before the pharaohs, there's an amazing book I read 30 years ago, maybe, called Initiation by Elizabeth Hatch, who's I think she's a German yoga teacher that went through this whole metamorphosis and had this whole amazing past life recall about being in pre-Pharaoh Egypt and what it was like, and how the women were actually initiated first, and then they initiated their male counterparts. Yeah, so they trained the males and initiated them. These were the twin flames. So in the beginning of this cycle of souls, according to her visions, that we started out like we sort of divided into two souls. The divine male and the divine female. That doesn't have to be boy girl, by the way. And basically it was the divine female that received initiation first, and then trained the male, and then they had to go their separate ways and deal with all the ills of the world, and go through all these incarnations, really, to start to find themselves. So when you reach a certain spiritual threshold, then you start to reconnect with that twin soul. So anyways, I figured that. So you're probably a Lyran starseed. Yeah, I love cats too. I've just always loved cats. Always could talk to them. Even as a child, I had my Siamese cat Strephon that I got when I was 4, and I always talked to him. I always knew what he was telling me. Anyway, Doreen, what did I miss in that card? Okay, because Doreen studies with Kyle Gray. That's why I'm asking. I definitely lived in Egypt there. I bet you did. Of her wings and her headpiece. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Crazy cat ladies. Yeah. If I was a lady, I'd be a crazy cat lady. I'm a crazy cat man. In fact, I think he's my first wife. Although I've been called cat man by others, and I've had the reputation among certain people of being the only person that they can coax scaredy cats out of hiding. So that's cat medicine for you. Cool with the cats messages. So, felines, they're very, they're sensual, they're very mysterious, they're very spiritual, they're very mystical. Um, they're very healing, and it's now scientifically validated that the purr of a cat has the power to heal depression, anxiety, even physical ailments. So they are healing beings, really. I mean, all animals have healing powers, not just cats, but since we're on the subject of cats. So anyway, next on the agenda is the sacred geometry deck. And the card that I got is perception. Oh my goodness. This is going to really, really test my 64-year-old eyes big time here. Trying to read this. I don't know about that. Anyway, perception and the way to work with these cards. All right, let me see. All right, so I'm going to have to do a massive clearing in the space before my 5 and 7 o'clock events. But anyway, so if you gaze in the middle, just absorb that sacred geometry, absorb the shapes and patterns, and you'll get your own upliftment, your own spiritual upliftment. But it's really about perception. So the frequency of, I'm holding the card like this, and it's tiny print. The frequency of perception supports our natural curiosity, moving us beyond our comfort zone to find the edges of what we perceive as real and to take a good, hard, deep look at it. Beautiful message. And what are our perceptions? Many of our perceptions are programs. We see something, in the environment, we see something in TV, and we have an automatic association with it. That's programmed into our subconscious. Not all programs are bad, by the way. Like we're programmed to know a red light means to stop, right? That's not a bad thing. I mean, I'd rather that than everybody running red lights personally, although they kind of do that anyway. But so that's about perception, understanding that true perception, again, comes from the heart, comes from cultivating the heart. The more the heart is open, the more your entire system, your entire being is open. The heart's the portal to the soul. So we learn to perceive from the soul, not from our programmed mind. So, we're, part of the program is, oh, this is bad, but this is good. This is bad, and this is good. And as long as we're allowing somebody else's beliefs to govern our own perceptions, then we're easily programmed by that other person, or the government or the corporations or whatever. So that's another meaning of perception that I'm getting, basically. And what else? Do I have my totem animals today or not? Oh, here they are. I was gonna say, I think Spirit's messing with me because I know I bought them just like my glasses. As soon as I end, I'll find my glass. I'll be right next to me. Maybe Spirit saying, maybe start to not need the glasses, right? If you don't use them, then your body's able to adjust. Maybe that's my personal message. It's like, don't define yourself as being nearsighted or having 64-year-old eyes, right? That's a good message, right? Okay. So clearing my mind. I got my card right away. Peacock. Peacocks are very beautiful beings, right? Very, very showy also. Don't be afraid to let your beauty shine out into the world. That's what I'm seeing with the peacock message here. And what it says is let yourself stand out and be noticed. So, and this is as much a message for me as anybody. I mean, maybe that's part of my spiritual exercise. Why Spirit told me to do YouTube when I told them they're freaking crazy. You see me on camera. That was my reaction of 3.5 years ago when I got the message to do YouTube. I reprogrammed my mind so I could do this without having a nervous breakdown every freaking time. But anyway, that's a whole other story. But I do have inner showmanship. I know that shows when I'm doing my live stream. I think I must have been an actor or performer in another lifetime, because I have to be honest. I do love the attention. I do love the light shining on me, and I think that really helped me to get out and do public mediumship also. Yet again, I have a lot of performance anxiety, and the message here really is, again, let your beauty shine, let your gift shine into the world. You are a gift, you are beautiful, and the programming will make us feel less than or whatever. I mean, there's for like women, I notice that are very physically attractive. Yeah, there's this program that you can't flaunt that because then you're what is it? I don't even want to get into it, but I think you get the gist of that. Let your beauty shine. That's the message here. Are we still talking about cats? I love it. I love peacocks too, and having peacock feathers is a nice thing also. And thank you for that. Yeah, thank you for that. Thank you. So last but not least, we have our angel message of the day. Um, all right. Let me just clear my mind. This is Doreen Virtue's deck called Messengers from the Angels. And Francesca, this is what the card looks like here, Francesca. And so that's that. And the message here is, what do you desire right now? Visualize it and it will come about. Negativity will block your progress. So law of attraction is a big topic with this, not the harvest moon. What is the August new moon called? Actually, this is still the Aquarius new moon. We have a second full moon in August at the end of the month, which is a blue moon. Francesca's your daughter's name. Beautiful, beautiful. And so shine unapologetically. Thank you. That's a beautiful comment. Thank you. And I love the name Francesca also. Yeah, let us shine. Broken heart. Yeah, good share also. Thank you very much. So speaking of which, Doreen, the Children's School of Yoga will be doing a class, a yoga class at 5 p.m. here on the channel. If you guys want to come back, working with the astrology in order to come up with the best asanas, the best pranayamas for this coming period of time. And then 7 o'clock, it'll just be me again going over the August psychic forecast as well as the full moon energy. Very, very powerful full moon. I can't wait to share this with you guys. So that is coming, and that's coming soon. 33. Where did it say 33? On my screen it says 45 right now, but maybe there were 33 people on, or 33. The average human has 33 vertebrae in their spine. Apparently, you can have anywhere from 32 to 38, but most people have 33 vertebrae. And the number 33, the age that Christ supposedly passed, although he didn't die, but that's the whole other story. At least when Mary Magdalene was coming through, we channel Mary Magdalene, the Magdalene, on her feast day on July 22nd here on the channel. And she's describing that basically Jesus did die. The Bible's not wrong or anything. It's just a symbolic death. There was an initiation, just like the sun dancers here in the Americas, the Lakota tradition will hang from the tree for 4 days without any food or water after doing a sweat lodge, by the way, and have like a spiritual initiation that way. So, anyways, and you see 333 all the time. Yeah, so three, when you're seeing a lot of threes, it's expansion. Three, the number three shows us how the forces that be act on the physical universe. So our physical universe is dualistic, right? In nature, all zeros and one. It's the binary code. Then when you come to the 369 code, like 3, 6, and 9 are all multiples of 3. So when you come into that, you start to tap into those forces that influence this fractal universe, this physical universe that we live in. So if you're seeing a lot of 3s, you're being called upon to really ascend into higher vibrations and frequencies to understand those forces, those powers, and that we have the power to influence the collective, just as the collective influences us. It's a symbiotic, a give and take relationship that we have with the universe. So we influence the universe, the influences us. Since the influence is gazillion times more vast than us, the influence is a gazillion times more, but that doesn't diminish the fact that whatever we think, feel, and desire has an energy and a frequency that affects the whole universe. And this is okay, what do you want to say? The observer effect, the butterfly effect. These are all like quantum physics, chaos theory, all this stuff. All these different things really validate that you really are that powerful, and you really do have that much influence and power. So I think we're going to end on that note. And thank you again, everybody. What were we saying? Does that... I'm a Libra too, so maybe it does. Trinity Triangle, yes, you're welcome. Much love and gratitude to you, and namaste all, and we'll see Doreen at 5. Thank you, I love you. Oh, by the way, if you want to dive deeper into what we do and do frequency channeling with the master teachers with us, we have a Patreon group called Spirit Mind Family, where we do a lot of really, really cool things. And I don't have to censor, my opinions there also. So as always, I'll leave information on the pinned comments, but I always forget to mention that. And I always forget to mention, if you like this video, please like it and help YouTube to share it with more people. So thanks again, everybody. I love you. Hit the like, peeps. Thank you also for reiterating that. And we'll see you next time.